Hi everyone, my name is Vicky Vargas and I am the photographer and creator of the Handsome Revolution. You may have heard of the project, and if not, maybe this is your first time and I can tell you a little bit about it. I wanted to do a very unique and just authentic crowdfunding video, not witty and exciting and funny, done by a videographer or anything like that, just because it kind of follows the platform I've been doing with for the project when it comes to videos. I wanted to also try and keep it as short as I can, so I'm going to give it my best try. The Handsome Revolution project is a project that started in 2012 in July, and it all came from my noticing the lack of images of people who look like me in the media. So I felt like there was no true representation of the real person or a real masculine presenting person. And when I say that, I say not fitting a particular fashion standard or a magazine standard. I wanted to be able to document real, true folks from our community. And I wanted to be able to document these and bring them to the world in hopes to saturate the media with these images. As I started photographing these people, I realized that I learned so much about their stories, and I realized that I could identify with a lot about their stories. And somehow, somewhere in there, I felt like I could identify with their story. And then I realized, this is really important. We really need to hear these stories. We really need to hear these experiences. And that's when I knew that these stories needed to be part of the project. So I wanted to have their images be exhibited or shown along with their stories. Because even if we can't identify with the image that we're looking at, which we mostly can, there's so much more to that individual that we need to know, that we can find out about when we are reading these stories. And I find it to be incredibly touching. And also I am super grateful because these individuals are putting themselves in a very vulnerable place where they're sharing these experiences. And we all have to remember that as masculine people walking about the world, it's still a very difficult thing. In some places we are just not liked. This is not liked. This is not okay. And the intent of the project is to educate by continuing to promote visibility, by saturating the media with these images to be able to make it, give it some sort of normalcy, I would say. And I know it's a long shot, but I know that this is a project that is needed. And for any of you who are in any parts of the world who are afraid to be your authentic selves, to walk about the world like the rest of us, this is a place where you can see images of people that are doing it, and you can read about our experiences and their experiences. The project has been an absolute success. I get messages all the time. I get emails all the time about how people feel that this is something that is extremely valuable and extremely needed. And I did not realize what I was creating when I first started the project, but it really just took a life of its own. And, we have been seeing the media just kind of revolutionize when it comes to gender and gender non-conforming. I feel like, we just kind of started very slowly, but now we're in the middle of all of this, and we are part of this amazing revolution. And I want to be able to continue to bring change, and I want to continue to be able to bring these images to you guys. And I want to be part of the change, and changing the state of mind, changing the way that people see us, changing the way that people react towards us, and changing the way that media is selecting the people that they are choosing to represent our own community as well. So, we are different sizes, we're different colors, we're different looks, different ages, all kinds of things. And I think that variety needs to be present all the way. So there's a, kind of a back end fight for that as well with this project. With all of that being said, in the past year I had been crowdfunding, and we started a GoFundMe campaign, which had a very, very, very high goal, and we did not meet that goal. But that is not a bad thing. We did collect about $4,300, and with those $4,300 that we collected, we were able to visit Europe and photograph there. And the images that we collected from that trip are just mind-blowing, and the stories that we were able to share from that trip are mind-blowing as well. And we are continuing to get emails from Europe, where in other countries where people really want us to come and continue to document, because they did not know about the project until we actually went there and showed these images. So I'm super excited to be able to head out and continue to go to more places here in the US, which is really my true thing, be able to do Canada and more cities in the US. We have started already researching and doing the legwork for our book, which will contain our 200 participants, which is how far we've come. We've been able to photograph 200 people thus far, which is a lot of people and a lot of stories, and I would love to go ahead and compile all of those into this book that I've been talking about. And so I have already started the legwork, and it's going to be a while before that's done, but it's coming and it's going to happen. So here's the thing. We have decided to do a new crowdfunding. And with this crowdfunding, we decided to go ahead and make our number a lot smaller and more attainable. And we are trying to get funded so that we can visit a total of 6 cities, 1 country. Currently, we want to go ahead and start to kickstart our crowdfunding in Seattle, and we want to bring an exhibit in Seattle and do a photo shoot in Seattle. And from there, we want to go ahead and visit the places that we have listed here on the crowdfunding page, which are San Diego, Texas, Houston, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia, New Orleans, and Florida as well. And then we are trying to head out to Cuba. So that is one thing that I am incredibly excited about, and I really need your help. All of our travel is definitely only able to happen with all of your help. So the money that we do collect for the project is going to help us get to these places. And with that, all of the expenses that are associated with our traveling are usually just flights, lodging, and any expenses that may come with being able to secure a space where we can show all of our exhibit if we are not able to find galleries or spaces that are donated, which is really what we aim for. Secondly, I've said already a lot of stuff. I want to continue to remind you all that the images that you see are images of people who have volunteered to participate. So if you are interested in participating, by all means, if you feel like you are somebody who is not represented in the images that you see in the project, by all means, please just go ahead and submit your interest to participate in. If we are in your city, or if you happen to be in California, anywhere near Hercules, California, I can schedule a private shooting with you, because it doesn't help us to go to the page and say the things that you are not seeing, comment on the things that you are not seeing when you are not being part of that change. So be the change you wish to see. Be part of that change. And if you just can't participate yourself, just go ahead and tell your friends who you know might fit the change that you want to see, and encourage them to participate, because I am willing to work with just about anyone who is interested in participating. Anyways, I made this way longer than I thought, and I just want to go ahead and start exiting the video, finishing the video. So I am incredibly grateful to be someone who can bring this to our community. And I think that this is important for historical documentation reasons as well. I think that our future generations should be able to grab a collection like this and be able to look through these images and read through these stories and be able to identify with something in there and have something really touch them deeply, which is something that I did not have access to when I first started discovering that I was queer and that I was a masculine presenting individual. So it is important, it is extremely valuable, and all I can do is ask for your support. And if you cannot donate, I just ask you to go ahead and share the crowdfunding page so that we can go ahead and reach people who may be able to donate and help us get going to these cities. So again, we're super excited to visit these cities. The goal is to be able to be in each city for about 7 days, shooting for 2 days, and showing for about 3 days. So if you know of anyone who has access to galleries, some miles that they want to donate, some extra cash that they want to go ahead and put into the project, by all means, everything helps. So thank you very much for being a part of this. Thank you very much for all of your support. And we hope you continue to come by and take a look at these images. Thank you very much.